All right, so everyone's talking about the market crashing and the sky is falling. Well, in this video, I'm gonna bring to you the first real estate market update of 2019. So make sure you stay to the very end because I'm gonna explain the numbers and what they actually mean so you can have clear takeaways of what the markets are actually doing. And if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, this video is gonna help you a ton, because I'm going to walk you through the numbers in a way that you can understand it. Stay tuned. All right, so welcome back. And so in this video, just like I said before, it's our first real estate update of 2019. And in this video, it's not going to be fancy editing and fancy, different shots of me going all over Metro Detroit. No, in these videos with my market updates, I really want you to get something out of the video. So I'm gonna walk you through every single month of the year for the entire year of 2019. I'm gonna walk you through what happened. What happened last month? What are the numbers saying? I think there's a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace right now, and these videos are meant to bring you clarity. So let's jump into it. The first thing I want to talk about are interest rates. So last year in December, the federal government met, and at that meeting, and I made a video on it, so if you missed it, make sure you go back on my YouTube channel and watch that video. But the Federal Reserve raised interest rates in December because the Fed had a lot of confidence in the global economy. Well, if you've been paying attention at all, you notice that confidence in the global economy isn't as high as it was just about 45 to 60 days ago. So interest rates, believe it or not, had actually gone down over the past 30 days. So what we're gonna do in this video is I'm gonna give you a comparison as what happened last month in 2019, January, versus where we were at in 2018 in January. So you can have a comparison as to what's actually happening with the market. We're not looking at the news or the media or social media. We're not looking at all the hype out there talking about the skies falling. I'm gonna present you the facts and what the numbers actually said. So this time, last year, 2018, interest rates were at 4.25% on average on a 30-year fixed mortgage. Well, what do we look like now? Well, the numbers are in, and interest rates are at 4.375%, almost the same as they were a year ago. So all the hype around interest rates are going up, they're going up. I believe long-term they are trending upwards. However, if you're thinking about refinancing or purchasing a home, and your thoughts are, okay, everything I heard over the last 60 days was interest rates were going up, they're going up, they're going up, maybe it's now not the right time. Well, that's not the case. The facts state that interest rates are about the same as where they were at last year this time, because the global economy, the confidence in the global economy right now is a little bit uncertain. So when that happens, they bring interest rates back down to keep things affordable. So the first takeaway from this video is interest rates are about the same. They went up in December, they came back down in January, and we're sitting about the same point that we were this time last year on a 30-year fixed mortgage. So that's number one. Number two, I want to talk about new listings, the number of new homes that are hitting the market. So if you've bought a home in the last 3, 4, 5 years, or you've tried to buy a home in the last 3, 4, 5 years, at some point you felt the frustration around the lack of homes or the lack of inventory, the lack of options. And that's caused buyers great frustration because you found yourself either having to maybe settle for a home, or because of the lack of choices, you ended up buying a home at a really, really high price. Well, we have the January numbers. The first time we saw the number of homes that hit the market as it relates to last January up 10%. So for the first time in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, the number of homes that came onto the marketplace actually increased. Now, what does that mean? That means that for the first time in a long time, 3 or 4 or 5 years, buyers now finally have more choices than ever before over the past 3 or 4 or 5 years. And so that's really, really important, because when everyone's talking about the market shifting, what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about overall a supply and demand correlation. And when we're talking about supply, we're talking about the number of homes that are available, the number of homes that are out there for sale. Well, in January, we saw for the first time in the last couple of years that number increase. It went up by over 10%, meaning that now there are more homes on the market than there were this time last year. So I'm going to talk more about that in just a second. The next thing we're going to talk about is the number of closed sales. So this is probably one of the biggest pieces of information that we see that give us information that the market is indeed shifting into what we call a neutral market. So we're coming out of a seller's market. What does that mean? A seller's market just means that there are a lot more buyers than there are homes for sale. Supply and demand. So when supply is very, 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 very low, the demand is extremely high. That's what caused us to be in the seller's market for the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, causing homes to sell really quickly with multiple offers and sellers getting more than their asking price. Well, we're starting to see that get more even. Okay, so one of the things that's causing that is the number of homes selling. So for the first time in the last 3, 4, 5 years, January numbers state that the number of homes that sold was down. It was down over 6%. That metric matters a lot. As we progress throughout 2019, we pay close attention to the number of sales. So what do we have so far? So we have the number of homes hitting the market increasing. We have the number of homes that are selling decreasing. Okay, so that's what's causing the shift in the market. So let's talk about the next thing on the list. The average time homes are sitting on the market before they sell. Last year this time, that number was right around 35 days. Well, in January, that number is now up to 45 days. Right now, homes are sitting on the market longer than they have over the last 3, 4, 5 years. So more homes coming on the market, less homes selling, and homes taking a longer period of time to sell. Why? Because we're more of a neutral market. The number of buyers versus the number of homes for sale is getting back to a place where those numbers are more neutral. Okay, it's not shifted one way or the other. Let's talk about prices. Okay, so this is what everyone's always concerned about. What are home prices doing? Well, home prices is a huge correlation and a huge reflection of this whole supply and demand. So again, if buyers don't have a lot of choices and the supply of homes is very low and the demand is very high and buyers have no choices, they're left in a position to pay for a house that's way up here. Otherwise, they're not buying a home. Well, when there are more homes now for sale, now they have choices and the numbers are in. For the first time again, over the last 3, 4, 5 years, home prices stayed flat. They stayed flat for the first time in a long time. Every time I did a market report like this for you guys in the past, I was reporting double-digit price increases. Over the past 3, 4, 5 years, all my reports were double-digit home prices increasing. Not today. Not in January's 2019 real estate market update. Home prices right here in Metro Detroit stayed flat for the first time in a long time. So to wrap this up, giving you kind of what this all means, I gave you a little bit of insight on the numbers. Indeed, the market is shifting. We're coming out of a seller's market where there were no homes for sale. Many buyers looking to purchase homes with interest rates at historic lows, which caused a frenzy in the marketplace. And if you bought a home in the last couple of years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Homes were selling extremely quick with multiple offers over the asking price. We're coming out of that market into what we call a neutral market. This is a much more what we would call, I would call it stable, because for a buyer and a seller, sellers aren't selling homes in 2 seconds anymore. It's taking, on average, a month, month and a half before they're selling the home. And for buyers, now you have choices. Now you don't have to compete with 10, 12, 15 other buyers for the one house. You have choices. And the good news is this. The good news is affordability is still at an all-time low with interest rates being so low. So it's a great time to buy a home. And so for buyers and sellers, it's still great news. It's a great time to sell. Home prices are still right where they're at back in 2005. So we haven't seen values go down. So prices are good and interest rates are good. And on the buy side, now you have more choices. So each month, I will report the numbers in a video just like this so you know what's happening. And before you leave, make sure you go check out my new website, soldbybrandon.com, so you can do two things. Number one, you can see homes for sale that are not on Zillow. Get the facts, go to my website, see what homes are actually for sale. And then the second thing is you can get your home's value right on my website. A couple clicks, you can get your home's value. And if you have any questions about making a move this year, don't hesitate to reach out. So thanks for watching the first market update in 2019, and we'll see you guys really soon. Thanks for watching.